All right, I'm going to get our recording started and get us going with our TMN Tuesday July event. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We do have a little bit of a content change today, and I'll let Michelle introduce that here in just a little bit. Before we get going with our webinar content, just a quick rundown of our virtual meeting room etiquette. As always, if you are new here, welcome. If this is your first TMN Tuesday, it's going to be a little bit of a change of pace for us. But that's okay. It's a great opportunity for us to share lots of information and stuff that's going on. You are, as an attendee, not able to unmute or share your video, but we are using chat today as our communication tool. Hannah and Michelle and I will be playing off of each other, each of us speaking at different times and reading off of chat as we go along so that we can make sure that we're answering the questions that you guys are asking in the chat room. If you're a master naturalist, this can count for an advanced training, either watched live or as a recording if you're watching this afterwards. And I will have this recording on our YouTube channel and posted on our website within the afternoon, if not first thing tomorrow morning. And with that, if you've got any other WebEx issues, we do have a help guide on our website as well. All right, and Michelle, I'm going to let you kick off into our content and some of the updates.
Okay, as with all of our TMN Tuesday events, we ask you to help us continue to support events like this. And if you would take a minute to just, this is a voluntary survey, take a minute to take that survey and help us to remain eligible for continuing and doing more events like this. Go to the next slide. Might be a little lag on my end.
A little bit.
Okay, so one of the things I promised to do with the last president's meeting that we had is start putting notes about how to report your time when attending events that we do. So improving the TMN reporting on the end of things when, as a master naturalist, when you're reporting time for today, if you're a general member attending the session today, either attending it live now or watching the recording later on once it's available, and that's within this year, you would report your time as advanced training, and the AT description there would be July 2024 TMN Tuesday. We do have a little bit of an update in today's content and topic, which I'll tell you about in a minute. If you're a chapter president, so a reminder about today's meeting, it is a joint meeting, a joint TMN Tuesday with a joint Master Naturalist chapter president's meeting. So if you're a chapter president attending the meeting today, you can pick how, as a president, you can pick how you want to report your time for attending today, either as chapter business or as AT. So it'd be just an evaluation, your self-evaluation of how you want to report that. If you're reporting as AT, report it as AT above in the general membership information. If you're a chapter president reporting in as chapter business, you would report as normal a chapter business, and that some of that description is below. Next. All right, I mentioned July is always one of our joint TMN Tuesdays and chapter presidents meeting. We're changing things up a little bit, or actually we've been forced to change things up a little bit today. Typically today we had planned for you a plastic-free July, and it was going to be a couple of project highlights from our chapters. However, Hurricane Beryl threw us a little loop, a little kink in the ointment there. And the other items I wanted to mention, so July is a joint TMN Tuesday, November is a joint TMN Tuesday and President's meeting, and then also December is as well. We had a great presentation planned for you today for a plastic-free July with some project highlights from 2 of our chapters along the coast. And if you'll do the next slide. There's the rest of our TMN Tuesdays for the remainder of the year. Those include the joint TMN Tuesdays and President's meetings as well. And Hurricane Beryl had other plans for us today. Our thoughts go out to those who've been affected and by this or any other hurricane coming our way yet this year. So please stay safe out there. Both of the chapters that were slated to present today were obviously greatly affected by the hurricane. And some of the communities were the first hit eye of the storm and currently have no power and are struggling to live in those areas. So we had to adjust today. So we've moved less from TMN Tuesday and the topics that we had planned and more of a meeting, state of the program update, and Master Naturalist Annual Meeting 101 coming up. So a little bit of adjustment in our schedule today. You want to go to the next slide? And we hope to reschedule the Plastic Free July, the project highlights that were going to be presented today in an upcoming event. We don't know exactly when that will be yet, but looking at rescheduling that sometime soon. And next. And next. Yes, lots of love for those speakers, and we hope that they're staying safe. So again, we mentioned we're changing up the topics a little bit today, doing a state of the program check-in, kind of revisiting some of the things that we talked with you about in January when we gave a state of the program kind of union address in January, and then giving you updates on a bunch of those projects that we talked about then, and checking in with you and giving you more information to kind of complete and round out your summer or complete your Master Naturalist year moving ahead. So first off, we have some program updates. Earlier this year, we welcomed Hannah Ferguson to our team as our program support specialist. She actually came on at the very end of 2023, mid-December, but has been a great addition to our Master Naturalist program already and so far this year. So in the next couple of slides, we'll talk about some of the things she's helped our program accomplish so far this year and what we're looking at coming up for the remainder of the year too. If you're a chapter president attending this meeting, you've seen this slide many times. As a member attending this meeting, this might be a new slide to you. So with the addition of Hannah, we kind of separated out some of our duties and areas of focus. The one thing we want to mention is we have our Master Naturalist website as kind of the one-stop shop, the go-to to answer all your questions and for you to find all the information. That's your first line of defense. The second is if you have additional questions that can't be answered by the website, if you have chapter training resources questions, Master Naturalist brand and logo questions, or chapter to state office communications, go to Hannah, check in with Hannah. And then myself and Mary Pearl, we would work with you on any chapter management issue that couldn't be resolved at the local level first, any discipline, action, or incident reports that couldn't be resolved at your local level, and any advanced policy questions. We also have our VMS help desk, and I'll have for any VMS updates and information and questions, and I'll have a little bit of a update on the VMS refresh where we're at. And then if you have a chapter website issue, we have the AgriLife First Call for any of our members or chapter leaders who are managing a Master Naturalist chapter website at their local level. And next slide. In January, we told you about some program planning that we had coming up for the year. And so this is almost a 6-month check-in on that. We told you about our program growth with Hannah coming on. In January, we told you about a VMS update that we are going through. We're investing more in our program branding, updating our brand guide. We had a website update and update to our AgriLife Learn store where all of our Master Naturalist merchandise and items are available. We mentioned our chapter events with 2024 basic trainings going on. All of our spring trainings have completed, and we are launching into the application period for fall trainings, which Hannah will talk about here in a minute. And then we celebrated with you some chapter anniversaries and chapters that are celebrating anniversaries, different anniversaries throughout this 2024 year. Other state events, TMN Tuesday, today is one of those. We had our virtual volunteer fair in April. And then lots of information we'll be sharing with you today about our 2024 annual meeting coming up in San Marcos. And then we talked about long-term planning in that January 24 state of the program presentation. We talked about the license plate, our friends, our developing Friends of Master Naturalists organization, and then our Texas Master Naturalist Endowment, which we all have updates on all these things for you today. Okay, one of those updates, I talked about program growth and the volunteer management system. In January, we told you it was going through, or we'd be working through a process where we're going through an update and refresh in the system. So late last year, the Master Naturalist program and Texas Parks and Wildlife, mainly, who purchased the VMS system for the program and all of its other volunteer programs in the agency, they updated a contract with Samaritan Technologies late last year. And they have a new contract with Samaritan Technologies, and we have as a result of that new contract, we have a new account manager working with us on the refresh of the VMS also. So as I mentioned, the VMS system, we implemented it more than 10 years ago. And so since that time with Samaritan Technologies, there's been a lot of system updates, upgrades, and new builds that we were not able to incorporate into our older version of the system. But with the new contract, we're able to roll over and kind of update and refresh the VMS system to receive some of the updates, upgrades, and new features that the system has had taken place in it over the past 10 years. So part of that, we will be receiving the updates and upgrades, and then we will be moving our Master Naturalist account over in with the Texas Parks and Wildlife account. So that's the move and consolidation part of the system. And we expect, so we've been working on this in the background all year this year. And we expect visible changes to start happening mid-August to late fall is the current kind of intel we have on that right now. And I mentioned the refresh will incorporate several updates, upgrades, and new features of the system that we didn't have before. But let me assure you that as a member on the reporting side of the system, a member using the system to report your hours, you shouldn't see a lot of change. The interface might look a little bit different, it might look newer or fresher, but the fundamental part of reporting your hours is not going to change. The managers or administrators of the VMS system at your local chapter level, they're going to see the most visual changes, but the functionality will not it won't be a major difference. So
Michelle, there's a question in the chat. It's a frequently asked question. Is there a plan to create a mobile app for VMS?
So an app, no. The system is available through the as a it's not a mobile app, but through the internet, you can still report. The system is available on your phone. If you have internet service, you can report through the eCoordinator site. But a standalone app is not part of this system. It's two different things that need to be built, and the app would constantly have to be updated.
Okay. And then I answered the other question in the chat. This is a different volunteer management system than Master Gardeners. The acronym is the same, but that's just because it's a handy dandy acronym for volunteer management system.
Yeah, I think anywhere you go, if they have a system to manage their volunteers, it's called a VMS.
Yeah.
Okay, also in January, we told you about the development of a support organization for the Master Naturalist program, lovingly known as Friends of the Texas Master Naturalists. This organization is currently still in development, but they are seeking a resource person with experience in IRS legalities and nonprofit development. So if that is something that you have experience in, feel free to contact Donna Cole, who is spearheading that effort. And we hope to have more information about the Friends of Master Naturalist program in October at the annual meeting. Next slide.
Okay, and then Hannah, I think this is you.
Yes. So now we're going to go into some resources for the rest of your Master Naturalist journey for this year. The first one being is our website. This is like the HEB plus of websites. You can find anything that you need there. If you want to get notifications for upcoming events, be the first to know on all things annual meeting, you can sign up for our email listserv. The link is there on that slide. You can also just go to our website to find that. You can find chapter operating handbook guides, the brand guide. Any questions you have are most likely answered on the website. So that should be a go-to resource for you. We regularly update it as well. And if you ever see something that you think is missing, feel free to send one of us an email. On the website, you will find the 2023 annual report for this year. We released that a couple of months ago now, but if you want to share it with your community to show the impact that the state program has across the state, then that is a great resource for you to use. You can download it on the website. And we also have, next slide, big old 25th anniversary report on the website. This was a labor of love. It has a lot of information from the 25 years of the Master Naturalist program. So I really encourage you to go.
Oh, you're muted, Hannah.
I muted myself somehow. I encourage you to check that out. I'm going to drop the link in the chat in a little bit, but it is a really in-depth report of all things TMN over 25 years, lots of pictures, lots of fun information. So go check that out on our website as well.
And a huge thank you to Hannah for pulling this report together within the first 4 months of her employment, putting this 65-page plus beautiful document together that really reflects the power of the Master Naturalist program, the extent of our history. Thank you so much, Hannah, for jumping on board and for doing this and doing it so beautifully. We all really appreciate this.
And Hannah mentioned there are a lot of pictures in there. A lot of those pictures came from our Master Naturalists. There's a lot of quotes from Master Naturalists. And so a big thank you to all of our Master Naturalists who contributed in any way, whether they know it or not, to this, to the 25th anniversary report.
Yeah, big thank you for everyone who submits pictures into the annual meeting contest, because I love those pictures. I greatly appreciate them. I use them on socials, documents like this. They are well loved by me. Also on our website is a catch-all post for 2024 basic training classes. This is the list of chapters that have been currently updated for fall 2024 trainings. We'll be collecting 2025 trainings soon, but This is somewhere where you can send people if they aren't sure where to find information on training. It's a catch-all site right there on our website. And if you are a chapter leadership who wants to have your training featured on the website, then you can fill out the form that's at the bottom of that page, and I'll get a notification and get that updated.
So one other mention about fall training classes coming up soon. So as existing members already, you are the best people to help share the enthusiasm for upcoming training and get your neighbors and other people you know involved in the program too. So help communicate that these and actually more chapters are doing fall trainings. And if they're not already full, support your friends in becoming involved too.
And we also have a lot of anniversaries this year, some 10-year anniversaries, 15, 20, and 25-year anniversaries. So we just want to know, what are your plans? How have you celebrated, or how are you going to celebrate? Are you going to be celebrating all at the annual meeting? Feel free to share those plans with us. And if you have any big celebrations, feel free to send that to me either on socials or via email so I can share it to socials, because we're working on sharing a lot more of what you do on our social media, mostly Facebook for sharing your posts. But send those to me, and I'll try to share them out on our state page as well. And then just a few general reminders for our membership on being a Texas Master Naturalist and using that title. The title, your chapter name, and your affiliation with the chapter via your membership should never be used in connection with any advocacy or to invoke any policy. It also should not be used for any personal gain or personal profit. And it's always important to remember that the TMN logo and title are trademarks, and so they need to be treated as such. So we have rules and regulations on how you are allowed to use them. And you must seek state office approval when adding them to t-shirts, flyers, merchandise, things of that nature. We have the rules and guidelines for those on our website under chapter resources. And for those t-shirts, merchandise, flyers, etc., you will email those to me to get that state office approval.
For our presidents that are on the call today, again, as a joint TMN Tuesday chapter presidents meeting, this is not new. This is something that we have been reminding our chapter leadership with for several months. It's been a major focus of our program this year, to maintain the security of our trademark. But as a general member, this is something that we want you to keep in mind when you put that dragonfly on. It represents the program, and it needs to be treated with the respect and the authority in which you've earned the title of Texas Master Naturalist. And so that is the prohibition of using it towards advocacy, or for personal gain or profit. So it is it's a issue that we are continuing to cover with our chapter leadership, but we wanted to bring to the attention of the general membership, as it has been a major project of the program office here over the last several months.
And on the topic of branding, it is very important that chapters adhere to, and individual members adhere to, our brand guide standards. And one of those is that chapter logos are prohibited, but a chapter mark is allowed. So what that means is, think of it this way: we are across the second largest state in the nation, the best state in the nation, and we cover a lot of ground, and we're all under one program, but we're all covering different areas, doing different things, different landscapes, different ecosystems, but we're all one unit. And so it's super important for us to maintain that brand identity and that brand integrity, so that someone from East Texas, say they visit Big Bend, if they see that dragonfly logo, they know exactly who you are, exactly who you work with, exactly what you represent, because they recognize that logo. So, well, chapter mark, I should say, but they recognize our TMN logo with your chapter mark, and that chapter mark is adding your chapter name in one of these three ways to the TMN logo. So you have three options on how to do that. They're all listed on the screen there, and if any chapters need any help creating any of these, we can do that for you. Just send me an email. But this is a very important aspect of representing the Master Naturalist brand to your community.
Okay. Speaking of representing, we do have our AgriLife Learn store with our Master Naturalist logo apparel. So if you are looking for some branded TMN shirts, polos, hats, patches, things like that, we do have those on our AgriLife store. We've also recently done a big restock of a lot of those items. So these are our state branded TMN logoed items available in our AgriLife Learn store. When we get into talking about our annual meeting, we'll have another opportunity to have some logoed apparel at our annual meeting. And I didn't put a slide in today about that, but I will send some more information out about that once we have those merchandise items ready to go. Answering Belinda's question in the chat. So yes, there will be merch for sale at the annual meeting, working on that. And that announcement will go out through the email listserv. So another great opportunity and reason to be on the TMN listserv. Another way to represent yourself as a Texas Master Naturalist out in the community is to put a Texas Master Naturalist license plate on your vehicle, trailer, RV, camper. Boat. I've seen it on boat trailers as well. And so these can be ordered on myplates.com. You can either personalize them or leave them unpersonalized. Either way, this is a fundraising opportunity for the state program office and does provide $22 of the $30 back to the TMN program for every plate sold. We have been updating chapter presidents with our quarterly sales report on our quarterly reports from the DMV, and we have 687 Master Naturalist license plates out there right now, which is awesome to be able to see. I've seen some on the road. I always drive really nicely around those that have them. I've got one on my personal vehicle, so it's fun to get to see those. We are aiming to reach 800 plates sold. There is an opportunity after 800 plates are sold to have an influx of our deposit back that was placed on the license plate at the beginning. So it's a great way to, again, represent yourself as a Master Naturalist out and about and to showcase your love for dragonflies. Master Naturalists alone are not the only ones who are able to put these on your license plate. So if you've got some friends who are just dragonfly enthusiasts, here's another great way for them to support the Master Naturalist program and their love for dragonflies. So if you've got pictures, we always like putting these up, getting to see the different creative titles that people put on their license plate. Michelle mentioned, and we also, this is our kind of 6-month update to our state of the program, our Master Naturalist Endowment that was started in 2016 is our rolling snowball of additional funding for the Texas Master Naturalist State Office, for the state program, for opportunities for expansion and sustainability of the Master Naturalist program for decades to come. Our fund is hosted through Texas A&M Foundation, and they have a great resource list of resources on their website for ways that you can give either as individual or chapter gifts, employer gift matching, or estate planning. And Hannah, if you'll drop the link for that in the chat. If there's anybody who's got any questions on the endowment, I'm happy to answer any of those questions. Okay, with that, I'm going to jump into the annual meeting 101. So we've got 30 minutes left in our 1 hour, and I have not 30 slides, but near about, it feels like, a lot of information that I want to share about this year's annual meeting. Before I jump into that, Michelle, I saw a lot of chatter in chat. Is there anything I need to address? We're good? Okay. All right. So we are T-minus, 180 days or so to the annual meeting. Who's counting? I am. But our annual meeting is right around the corner, as it feels like. We will be in San Marcos, Texas, October 24th through the 27th. And we are so excited. There is a huge opportunity bringing this annual meeting so centrally located to have so many fellow Master Naturalists gather, geek out with each other, check out all these different sessions that are going to be happening, field sessions. I'm going to get into all of that. If this is your first annual meeting ever, you're a brand new Master Naturalist, newly minted or almost pinned, the annual meeting is our Super Bowl of the year. It is 3 to 4 days worth of advanced training, field sessions, networking meals, geeking out about naturalist knowledge, celebrating your impacts as a volunteer, meeting other like-minded individuals, and getting to spend time with people who get it, who talk your language, who take pictures of plants just as much as you do on your phone, or get to recognize some iNaturalist buddies that you've only seen on the internet. You get to see them in person, some celebrities as of the iNat world, so to speak. And so our annual meeting is a great opportunity to get all of your advanced training in one weekend, to meet those fellow Master Naturalists, and to get that big refresh in your Master Naturalist enthusiasm. I've got a lot of content here, and some of this is a repeat for our chapter presidents, but for those, and there's some new stuff in here as well for those chapter presidents. As we're counting down to the annual meeting, this is a timeline that we've shared with our presidents before, but this is kind of the where we're at in our state office planning timeline. We launched the agenda early last week. Our full agenda is out, and I've got some updates on that. And so that is on our website. I'll show you where you can find that. The next big task that we're working on is getting registration open. We do not open registration until the first week of August intentionally. I know that you're excited and maybe you've already booked your hotel room, you've made plans, but we have to hold registration until August because you'll be registering for your sessions, for those agenda items that you see on the agenda. I'll talk about the registration process and pricing next. And then we'll actually close early registration August 31st, open up standard registration, and then close that at the end of September. We also have our contests. I'll talk about our contests today, our 4 different contest and awards programs that are associated with the annual meeting. That deadline is September 15th every year. And then our October TMN Tuesday, and I'll cover that here in just a second as well. So what happens at an annual meeting besides everything? Our annual meeting is full of concurrent classroom sessions, pre-event, during event, and post-event field sessions, and meals that have gathering keynote or presentations at every one of the major meals. We also have a little bit of fun on the side. So our agenda highlights, you can see, really starts on Wednesday. We have 7 pre-event field sessions on Wednesday, ranging everywhere from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Thursday, we have 16 different pre-event field sessions. And so those also happen concurrently, starting at 8 a.m. And running through that afternoon. Registration, so the actual event itself, starts at 2 o'clock on Thursday. Registration will open 2 o'clock on Thursday. We have a chapter leadership luncheon on Thursday at lunchtime, but the first meal being served for our general audience, for our attendees, is Thursday dinner. And we're actually going to go off-site Thursday dinner. I'm going to come back to that one and talk about that one here in just a little bit. A lot of excitement around the Meadow Center. Friday and Saturday are our main 2 classroom days. So those days have 14 different rooms of 7 hours of concurrent classroom sessions. The biggest complaint that I get every year of the annual meeting is, how do I choose what sessions to go to? And I'm sorry, I have no solution to that. I have no advice to give except just randomly select, because they're all amazing. And they really are. We've got some really great speakers, some really great sessions. They are all amazing this year.
But that's also why we have the agenda out and available now too, for you get to begin perusing.
Yes, exactly. We'll have our keynote presentation Friday at dinner time. Saturday, we'll have our awards dinner with a little bit of with our quiz bowl before that. So our quiz bowl is a fun activity that we do every year. And that one can get pretty competitive. Master Naturalist being competitive, who would have thought? And so please join us for that if you're interested in that. We also have our science fair, student science fair winners at lunch as a presentation, also a great part of the event. And then our annual meeting conference itself actually closes Sunday after our contest awards. So you should be done with annual meeting content at about 10. I didn't add it here and I apologize. There are 2 post-event field sessions on Sunday as well. So if you are wanting to stay longer, you can stay longer and attend those 2 post-event field sessions on Sunday. So we will be wrapped up with the conference by noon at the latest on Sunday at the Embassy Suites in San Marcos. Hannah and Michelle, I see a lot of chat, so I'm hoping that y'all are taking care of all of that. Thank you. Because, as Michelle mentioned, our agenda is very complex and it's very hard to choose, we wanted to give it to you in 3 different formats this year. In our registration process, to guarantee a spot into one of these field sessions specifically that have a capacity to them, or our classrooms that do have a capacity to them, it will be offered for you to pre-register for those sessions. If you want to guarantee your seat in those classes, you will need to pre-register for them. And so giving you this agenda a month in advance of registration opening is our way of encouraging you to take out your highlighter, start making your list, start circling those things on the agenda that you want to attend so that you're ready to go when registration opens. So again, we have 3 different formats of agendas. I'm a visual person. I needed to see it in a big matrix. Michelle likes to see all the details and wants to see the full descriptions. And so that's that long format with the full, it's our long PDF version, our long agenda. It's like 65 pages. And then we also have the web-based version, and Hannah's helped to make that one as beautiful as it is. And so that's the 3 different formats that we have for the agenda this year. Field sessions are scattered throughout the annual meetings agenda, all the way, like I said, from Wednesday pre-event to Sunday post-event. And the goal of field sessions is to explore the unique surrounding areas, to highlight volunteer projects in the area of the local chapters, to give you an opportunity to participate as a volunteer in some of these projects, and then to learn how these chapters are working with these local partners so that a master naturalist from Dallas coming down can say, oh, that's how the Hays County chapter is working with the city and the park and this organization. We can do that when we go back home, and we can apply those same techniques and tips on this local project that we want to do back home. So it's an opportunity for some cross-chapter learning as well. As always, our field sessions are limited in attendance. Having 60 master naturalists on a trail is not a very quiet environment for seeing the birds out there. So we do have to limit our field sessions, and typically they are fairly small groups. But we have 31 different field sessions this year to try to give everybody an opportunity to get out and about if wanted. We will also have a wait list for all of our sessions, and believe me when I say the wait lists will fill up. And then you will get notified if your name is called on the wait list. And so grab that opportunity if you get one of those wait list emails. A huge shout out to the local coordinating chapters who put together, I said 31, it's not 31, it's 36 field sessions this year. And so, oh my gosh, thanks so much to them for putting together this huge litany of opportunities It's the most number of field sessions we've ever had before, and
Most number of
incredibly
anything.
diverse. Of everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of everything. You'll also notice in our agendas that there are a few of our field sessions that have entry costs. And so those are noted on those agenda items. If there's an entry cost, typically $10 to $15 is I think what the entry costs have been. There are a few that also have special gear requirements where they would like you to bring your camera for iNatting, or they would like you to bring certain hiking gear depending on the conditions of the location that you're going to. Please pay attention to those as you are looking through your agenda and picking up which one you want to go to. As it has been for several years now, transportation is not provided for these field sessions. As y'all can imagine, with 30 plus field sessions going in every single direction, that is cost prohibitive for us as a state office to be able to coordinate buses and vans and drivers and everything else for that many field sessions. So we are encouraging carpool and caravan where possible to these field sessions. I will be setting up a Slack channel. Slack is a discussion board, a communication tool that will have all of the registrants for the field sessions in there. You won't get those Slack channel invites until late September, early October. But those Slack channels will be a way for y'all to connect about carpool and caravan. So if Hannah and I are both signed up for the field session to the Gorge, she and I can text on the Slack channel and say, hey, Hannah, do you have an extra chair in your seat in your car? Yep. Okay, I'm going to jump in with you and I'm going to meet you here. So we encourage you to carpool or caravan where possible for our field sessions. I'm going to keep going. Michelle, Hannah, y'all flag me if I'm missing something. Lodging, because you want a place to rest your head in between all of these different sessions and overload of information that you're going to get at the annual meeting. We do have a block available at the Embassy Suites. It is filling fast. I was notified the other day that we are running out of rooms in some of the types of rooms that we have at the Embassy Suites in San Marcos. So please make sure that you are booking your room now, holding that room so that you are ready to go, or work with your local chapter to see if you can bunk up with some fellow master naturalists at the hotel. The link for our lodging is on our website, but if you have any booking issues, please call their front desk. They have been very helpful and have been working with us to make sure that all of our master naturalists are getting the rooms within the block as requested. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Y'all holler if I needed to stop or slow down. This is the registration process. If you are new this year, our registration is lengthy and can be frustrating, and I apologize in advance, but it is our one chance to make sure that we get everything right for you to be able to attend the conference, that we have a spot saved for you in the ballroom, that we have a spot saved for you in the field session, that we have the right dietary restrictions listed for our attendees, and we have the meals ordered as intended. So our registration is lengthy on purpose, but can be frustrating for new registrants. We will open registration the first week of August. I do realize that that is elusive. I am not opening it on a very specific day and a very specific time, because there are things outside of my control with our registration system, with our merchant account, with our banking system, with our business office. And so I get as close to the 1st of August as I can, but I cannot guarantee it at a specific date and time. So the first person that gets the first announcement that registration has gone live goes out to our listserv and our social media pages. So if you are on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, and if you are on our TMN listserv, you will get notified first of our registration. being open. So make sure that you are on that listserv, you are on Facebook, you are on Instagram, and you'll get that first notification that it has gone live. Registration goes fast because everybody wants to go to the same field sessions, or they all want to jump in right at the same time. So this year, Hannah helped to put together this wonderful fact sheet and process flow for us to help some of our new Master Naturalists know what it looks like when you're registering for the conference. There are 5 pages on our registration system. The first page is a simple one. What's your name? What's your contact? What's your dietary restrictions? The second page is also a simple one. What registration type do you want to register for? Do you want to register as a full conference attendee, a 2-day, or a 1-day conference attendee? So that's page 2, registration type. Page 3 is the headache. And I have worked every way possible to try to make page 3 as easy as possible for y'all. And it's the only way that I can work to make sure that we get, again, all of that information that we need from you. So page 3 is your sessions registration. That is where you go down the list and you select that you want to go to this, and this session, and that you're registering a seat. You're saving a seat on that field session or in that classroom. The system is built to not allow you to move past that page if you have overlapping times. So if you've signed up for an 8 to 10 and a 9 to 10 session, it's going to throw an error at you, and it's not going to let you get past page 3, and you're going to rip your hair out and you're going to yell and scream and throw your phone down, and then you're going to email me and tell me that that you have an issue. You have to check your session schedule. Y'all, I have worked on 3 or 4 different registration platform types, everything else. This is the best way that I have been able to get this to work for you. I apologize in advance for your frustration, but go through the agenda now. Make sure that the sessions that you want to attend do not overlap in time, and put those exactly in, and everything else will work. Make a plan B as well if there's sessions that are filling up. So that's the third page. Page 4 is our optional items like merchandise and things like that. We're still working on that one. And then page 5 is your checkout with your payment information. Registration on average, I've seen it take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how prepared you've come with your list of sessions. You do not have to pre-register for sessions if you're not going to ones that have a capacity to them. So if you're not going to any field sessions, if you want to stay at the Embassy Suites the whole time, you can kind of run through page 3 and just be done with it. But that's what page 3 does for us, is guarantee that seat in those field sessions or classroom sessions. Okay, that was a lot. What did I miss in the chat? Nope. Okay, y'all got it. Oops, wrong way. Okay, registration is opening that first week of August. Again, not a definitive timeline. The first announcements will go out on the listserv, Facebook, or Instagram. We have registration pricing out right now as well. Our team works hard every year to try to keep these prices as reasonable as possible. I will tell you that this year, the thing that is eating our lunch is food. Food is a major cost to the annual meeting. We have worked really hard with the hotel to make sure that we're still offering you decent meals, good meals, while keeping our meal costs reasonable. As y'all have seen at the grocery stores, food costs have gone up. That is mimicked here in our registration prices, as that is the majority of our registration cost is our food this year. So early registration will start that first week of August. We'll close August 31st. You can see the 3 different registration types: full event, 2-day, or 1-day. If you're only able to make it out Thursday and Friday, Friday and Saturday, or early 1-day, or just for 1 day, Thursday or Friday or Saturday, those options are here listed in the registration prices. After September 1st, our registration will move into standard registration with a $50 increase. Again, full event, 2-day, 1-day. And then if you are bringing a guest, and I apologize about the weird spacing there, but if you have a guest that wants to attend alongside you, but just wants to come for the meals, that is listed there as well. One question that I get commonly asked is, can somebody who is not a master naturalist attend the annual meeting? Absolutely. Please invite them. The annual meeting is a great way to bring new folks to the fold, invite these folks to join the Master Naturalist conference, and maybe they'll get to learn one or two things out of the event as well. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, y'all, because I know I've got 10 minutes. So Thursday, we could not go to San Marcos, Texas, and not take y'all to the Meadow Center. That was the first call that Michelle and I made, and Hannah, once she joined in, to get the first call that we made once we decided on San Marcos for this year's conference. And so we are going to be hosting a welcome reception at the Meadow Center on Thursday evening, starting at 5 o'clock. We will be providing transportation from the Embassy Suites to the Meadow Center. Starting at 4 o'clock, we'll be running some shuttle buses from Embassy to Meadows. And then we will have the Headwater Green lawn and the trails and the boardwalk and the glass bottom boat tours available for Master Naturalists to peruse, to take in, to INAT, to check out at your desire over the rest of those hours that evening. And then we will run buses again back to the Embassy Suites starting at 9 o'clock, with hopefully everybody off grounds by 10 o'clock. Parking is limited at the Meadow Center, so we highly encourage you to join us on the buses that'll be cycling through. If you want to drive yourself, you can. Please check out the information. We'll have this on our website as well. It'll be in all of our emails going forward about the opportunity to park on your own. It does have a cost though, and parking is limited. We're going to be running glass bottom boat tours, trail walks, a boardwalk walk there at the Meadow Center as well. We're going to have dinner there. We'll have a bar, and we're just going to have a great time getting to hang out at the Meadow Center and seeing that beautiful spring that is there as well. The what to wear and bring, again, that list is there, but I will be putting this on our website and sharing it in all of our upcoming emails for those that register for the conference. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Glad that y'all are answering chat. During our conference, during the annual meeting, we have a silent auction that'll be running throughout the entire event. Drop-off will be Thursday, and the auction will open Saturday, and then we'll close Saturday. We'll open Friday, excuse me, and then we'll close Saturday evening. This is a great way for you to get your naturalist Christmas shopping done. We also are asking for donations at this time for the silent auction. If you are interested, or if you've got some goodies in your house that you think other Master Naturalists might enjoy, please consider donating them to our silent auction. That information is also on our website. Michelle, I'm going to let you do this so I can take a drink.
Yeah, and I'll do contest awards, but while I'm doing that, there are a couple questions about a no food option or opting out of meals in the chat. So if you could answer those.
Yes, ma'am.
As always with the annual meeting, there are several contests and awards that take place, entries leading up to the annual meeting, and then things that are announced during the annual meeting. One of those, actually all of those listed here, the Chapter Advisor Awards, Chapter Project Fair Award, like the Exemplary Project Fair, our annual video contest, and then we also have the Photo Art and Media contest. And then each of these, so if you could forward the slides, each of these has its own kind of slide that we'll delve into. All of these awards and the nominations for these awards or submissions are due September 15th. Chapter Advisor Award, this is an award for either a single advisor or a team advisors. Both both categories are open for nominations. A single chapter advisor or a team of chapter advisors can be nominated. All of the information is on our website, so I'm not going to read the slides to you, but just go over them quickly. Next one. It's a bit of a lag on my end.
Yeah.
What is the next one? Oh,
Chapter
chapter
project.
project fair. So we are accepting submissions for the chapter project fair now. The submissions do need to be coordinated through your chapter. And realistically, all of the nominations where there's a chapter advisor, chapter project fair, like all of those submissions and nominations need to be coordinated through your chapter board. Chapter project fair, our exemplary project fair competition each year. We name the top three, typically the top three awards for kind of the best project of the year award. And these will be presented, everything that is submitted will be presented virtually through our September TMN Tuesday. I'm sorry, October TMN Tuesday on October 8th. And I'm still looking for a master naturalist volunteer who might be interested in participating on a panel of judges. Our priority would be to have a volunteer member from a chapter who isn't submitting a project fair entry, just to keep everything as open as possible. But if alternatively, if you're a chapter that, if no one else steps up who meet that criteria, you would want to be involved as a project fair judge, but your chapter is presenting, we just ask you to recuse yourself from that, your chapter's presentation or vote, you're voting for that. Next one is, I forget which order they're in. Sorry.
Oh, video contest.
Video contest. So our annual chapter video contest, we're accepting nominations for those right now too. Remember, these are the short 1 to 3 minutes videos about your chapter, and it can be talking anything about what it means to be a master naturalist. It could be a recruitment video for your local chapter of the program. It could be talking about a project that you've are working on or have an update for, or have a long-term, you want to show what you've done and made changes on it long-term. As your chapter puts together the video and submits it to the contest, and then we name the top winners at the annual meeting. There is money involved. So all of these contests receive small project grants as awards for all of these submissions. And so again, video contest would be something that would be reviewed and coordinated with your board also. And then, do you want to talk about photo art and media contest?
Yeah, I can. So our photo art and media contest will be going, I've got the rules on my to-do list this week. I have said that for 2 weeks, so I apologize for those that have been waiting on me to get those out. But I will have those rules for this year's photo art and media contest out by the end of this week. And then that contest entry window will open August 1st. So we only collect photo art and media entries for a month and a half because there is so much that comes in. So we limit that window, and then we'll close it September 15th to be able to coordinate all of those and put them into the app for voting. So we have individual member submission categories of photo and art, and then we have chapter submission categories of the media, the newsletter, scrapbooks, or brochures. So more information on those will be on our website within the week. I did want to address one question that I saw in chat about the virtual or the hybrid option for the annual meeting. We would love to be able to host a virtual or a hybrid option with our annual meeting. However, we are a staff of 3. It is logistically impossible for us to host a hybrid meeting anymore. At this point, the conference is large enough after the 2020 and 2021 conference where we went virtual and hybrid. It nearly killed us, to be totally frank. It's just logistically not possible for the limitations that we have on staff and on funding. We did look into some technology that would upgrade it, and it would triple the registration cost to be able to bring in that type of technology, to be able to keep our conference accessible in the hybrid world. And so as much as we would love to, it's just not possible. And so we'll continue to host TMN Tuesdays as a way to provide advanced training, connections of resources and information. And then we will continue to publish our annual meeting awards and follow up and wrap up about the conference post-event. And that's what we're able to offer as far as hybrid at this time. So while I would love to be able to say yes, it's not possible for us this year. Are there other questions in chats?
There's some I'm answering.
Okay, good. Great. I see it's 101. So with that, again, thank y'all for being flexible with us and letting us shift our topic for this month's TMN Tuesday. We wish the best to those that were affected by Hurricane Beryl. And we'll share an update on rescheduling when everybody is ready to refocus on those things that are less priority. Right now, our coastal chapters are focused on those priorities of recovering, making sure that their members are safe and sound and have the resources that they need. And we look forward to seeing everybody in October at the conference. And thank you guys so much again for everything that you do as a master naturalist. Really, really love getting to be a part of this program. Okay, I see some more questions, Michelle. I am going to grab some of those.
Questions on the photo and art contest. So one, Madison asks if the art rules include no AI generated images of any kind, or if there is some type of allowance for that. And I trying to remember back, I think one of the categories
we have a digitally enhanced category, but not an AI category.
Well, the AI would fit within that.
Yeah.
And then someone asked about a specific diamond, the diamond art, and I think that would fit under
sculpture, maybe, or art, or drawing. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of a new burgeoning category. I don't know. We'll talk with the team that is handling that, and or it's actually it's a committee that's handling it. None of us, and so we'll mention that, and maybe we can suggest where the diamond art would go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording and grab the chat because I think this would be a great way for us to get some FAQs together.